Hi, my name is Francesca. I'm from St. Pete, Florida, and I thank TK and everyone for bringing me here today. And I'm going to talk about judicial reform and also my baby that was taken from me. Good afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today. I pray that all our efforts will help keep our children safe and bring them home to the families who love them unconditionally. I've had a chance to speak with a number of parents just like me, with similar stories that have been torn apart by losing their children to the same system that was designed to protect them. Unfortunately, there's a growing trend in this country where we empower certain government-funded organizations with the responsibilities held traditionally for parents when deciding what is the best interest for our children. For instance, when my only miracle daughter was born premature at 1 pound 8 ounces at 5 months with a medical condition, she was targeted for adoption by someone working inside the Department of Children and Families. From the start, my rights as a mother and the rights of my child were systematically abused and ignored by the very people appointed to act in her best interests. Month after month, I endured an onslaught of malicious lies, false accusations, and factual misrepresentations, which slandered my character and paved the way for the destruction of my family. I couldn't imagine a world where the actions of a few powerful people could undermine my rights as both a U.S. citizen and a mother, and I was confident that the justice system would uncover the truth and my child and I could live a happy and fulfilling Christian life. Like any American, I felt that everything would be cleared up once I had my day in court. Upon reading the transcripts of my case, the judge, in his own words, acknowledged the state did not show any clear, convincing evidence which made me an unfit mother or a danger to my child or any children in any way. We pay our judges to do a difficult job, and we expect them to act in an unbiased fashion within the guidelines of the law. In my case, he failed to rule and make a decision that allowed the state and guardian litem to decide the fate of my family. I was shocked and outraged that the same people who conspired against me were now responsible for deciding what's in the best interest for my child. My life and happiness of my child were placed in the hands of the very people scheming against me. If a judge cannot make a decision, shouldn't the parents have equal say or more in what's in the best interest of our children? There needs to be a much higher standard placed on the judges within our family court system. Our children deserve the chance to grow up in a traditional family that can offer them a sense of belonging and self-worth. This country has always been a beacon of hope and prosperity in the world, and was set up in a way that allowed any hard-working man or woman the real chance to pursue happiness and to live in freedom. I'm like most Americans who only want my child to not make the same mistakes I did and provide them with opportunities that were never available to me. We cherish the right to be able to teach our children the values of our faith and provide them with the confidence to follow their dreams. All states have a set of family laws which were intended to provide equal protections and justice regardless of social status or race. Unfortunately, there are people living among us who think that their social status and their network of powerful friends enables them to bend the laws in their favor and unjustly impose themselves into our private lives. Without the proper checks and balances within the family court system, there are people who can and will completely disregard our rights as parents. We must not let a few powerful dictate our rights and the future for our children. As the months turned into years, my search for justice seemed to be going nowhere, until I reached out and found dozens of other parents who've had similar stories. Those of us who had their children targeted in a biased manner must stand together in our fight for justice and fair treatment under the law. We need to demand judicial reviews of cases where the court has ruled to terminate parental rights. This can only be accomplished by allowing free and open public scrutiny of cases like mine, which have generated a great deal of debate in regards to the fact of the case and the judge's ruling. Recently, there's been some exciting news in our fight for justice. California is probing into the activities and rulings of the judges within the California family court system by opening new judicial reviews on a number of debatable cases. All of us need to demand that our states follow California's apparent lead and demand judicial reviews for all TPR cases in each of our own states.
Amen.
Each and every tax-paying American should and will be outraged once they realize that our hard-earned tax dollars are unknowingly being spent on programs that are paramount to government-funded child abuse.
Amen.
The current statutes outlining judicial review must be updated in a manner which is much more accessible to any parent facing a terminating parental rights decision. We have a critical need for ongoing citizen review panels, which we will uncover any irregularities in the court and allow for a level playing field.
Yes.
Our judges must enforce the laws that protect our children's safety while at the same time protect the rights of the parents. The judges in charge of the appeals court must be able to distinguish between the facts of the case and misinformation provided by unethical persons within the system. The appellate judge must be forced to rule if and when other judges fail to act in one way or another. If judicial reform takes shape within our family court system, we need to require that the judges have full oversight of the following. And the state must always locate other relatives and family members before any steps for adoption are made. Second of all, any social worker or member of social services must have proper and show legal ID with court order paperwork signed by the judge before taking the child from their family or guardian. And finally, every parent or guardian needs to have a fair trial, which is ruled upon in a timely manner. If a judge cannot make a decision due to a lack of precedent, then the case should be decided by jury trial rather than allowing the responsibility of making an unbiased ruling fall upon the guardian ad litem or the state attorney's office.
We want a jury trial. That's right.
Most of us had no idea that our tax dollars were being used by some to legally kidnap our children.